Hey y'all,
What's up, y'all?
I'm Elise,
And I'm Will.
and this is Team
Team Tatum.
Tatum. Team Tatum.
Today we're reviewing the 1968 crime drama thriller Targets, directed by Peter Bogdanovich. I probably butchered his name. And starring Tim O'Kelly, Boris Karloff, among other people.
Etc. Etc.
Etc.
Name that movie.
Yeah. So Targets is a movie about. So listen to the tagline. Tagline is targets are people, and you could be next. That was the tagline.
They ain't lie.
Pretty good tagline. The synopsis is: an aging horror star contemplates retirement amid the modern culture of random violence, while a disturbed young gun collector embarks on an unprovoked killing spree. So, surprise, surprise to me, when I was picking this as one of the potential movies we were going to watch, I didn't read that correct at all. So I thought it said a retiring horror actor goes on a killing spree. And I was like, I gotta see how you transition from this to that.
It's storming outside if you can hear it.
Yeah. So when that wasn't the case, I was like, oh, this is not what I thought it was gonna be at all. But yeah, so had you heard of Targets
Had not.
before? Did you know of any other actors in it?
None of them. Well, the main guy, I feel like I know him when he's older. He looked like every now and then when we watch older movies, every now and then we watch older movies, I see somebody in it and I'm like, I feel like I know you when you're older. And then we look up their stuff and I know them from like something they were in the 90s or something when they were like 70, 80 years old. I feel like I know his face, but I also might not know his face. But he's the only person that looked even vaguely familiar to me in the movie.
He's in quite a bit of stuff.
Is it a western? What's that?
Yeah, he's been in some westerns.
I might know him from westerns.
Yeah, you might know him from westerns. We thought he looked like somebody else. He don't really look like him, but we called him that during the movie. You don't even know who it was.
Right. Inside. Confidential.
So yeah, I didn't know about this movie either. I didn't know about anybody in it. I might have known Boris, the old man.
Mm-hmm.
I might have known him, but I looked him up. I never saw nothing with him in it.
You ain't known it.
Well, no, I'm saying when we were watching it, I was like, he looks familiar, but he was not. So yeah, Boris is essentially Vincent Price in this. Is what he is. So he's
his character.
Yeah, his character. He's known as this horror actor, but again, this is set in like the 1960s, and he's been acting for a minute, and he's been doing movie roles a la Vincent Price. So it's considered horror for the time, but by the modern standards, it's not horror.
It's the classical horror.
Yeah,
where you're classically trained and all of that. Almost speaking Shakespeareanly.
Yeah, that stuff like Mask of the Red Death. But he's just like, that's not what people are going to the movies for anymore. There's actual like horror stuff now, and I'm a relic, so I'm 80 years old. I'm gonna peace out.
Ain't nobody come to see me, Otis.
Right. That actor was in his 80s. In actuality, but yeah. So the movie starts off kind of Inception like. So it's a movie within a movie. You don't know this. The movie starts off, and it was like, what's happening? Because it's like in the middle of some action going on, and they're in this castle, and they're running from something. Turns out it's Boris's movie. They were screening it, doing the dailies at the studio, and he was like, whatever, I don't care. But until we figured out that it was a movie within a movie, we were like clearly
trying to rewind.
Yeah, we're trying to rewind it because like clearly we missed something. And
they said at the end and everything. We're like, we just turned this movie on. What's
going on? But yeah, they were watching the dailies, reviewing it, and it's him, like his little personal assistant, the writer of the movie, producers, all that stuff. And this is when he dropped a bombshell on him, like, yeah, this is it. This is my last. Like, do whatever y'all want with this movie. I'm not doing this no more. I'm retiring. And they're like, but hey, you're a star, and we got this other movie that was written specifically for you, already lined up. We got all these promotion things set up, and he's like, I don't care about none of that. I'm out. And so the writer who wrote this movie and this new movie that's supposed to be getting filmed that he wrote specifically for his character. His character's name is
ooh. The lights flashed, y'all. Might be getting real.
Right.
In the Ville.
Byron Orlock is his name, which is a dope movie actor name.
I wonder if it's his real name.
It's not.
Oh.
His name is Boris Karloff.
Oh no! Oh, his character.
His character name is Bryson is Byron Orlock. Yeah.
Got it. Did I watch the movie? Man, these lights are really flashing, y'all.
But yeah.
Yeah,
it's not even.
It's been way windier and rainier outside than this without anything happening in here.
The writer is the boyfriend to his personal assistant, who they make multiple comments. Well, they don't make multiple comments. Byron Orlock, Mr. Orlock makes multiple comments. Well,
you wanna postpone? Or you wanna fight through? Let's keep going.
Makes multiple comments about his assistant and like Asian sayings or whatever.
Right.
And
what would the Asians do? How do you say that in Chinese? All that kind of stuff the whole time.
Like through the whole movie, and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
She barely even looked like she could have possibly had a little bit of Asian in her family.
I had to look it up. She is Asian, and she was one of the first early like Asian.
Was she fully Asian or Asian American?
I didn't dig that far. She might have been Asian American, but
was looking passing.
Yeah, she looked passing. I ain't gonna hold you. I was just like, always wanted.
All she had was straight hair. That's it.
I thought it was one of those cases where just plain old white woman,
right?
Playing an
like
Asian.
In, the Manchurian Candidate.
Oh yeah. That's what I thought was going on. But no, she's actually listed as like one of the first Asian actresses.
My bad, girl.
But so he's retiring. Across the street, there's a guy who's played by Tim O'Kelly. Where he's a kid, even though he looks 35 years old. Grown. He
pension.
He Tobey Maguire in the first Spider-Man movie. He's at a gun store buying guns. Buying a gun. He's buying a rifle. Yeah. And apparently he's a regular. Like he has a rapport with the owner. Yeah. He gets the gun, goes to his car, opens up the trunk.
He and his daddy regularly go skeet shooting. Look at me knowing words.
Yes. Except they weren't ski shooting.
Oh, I thought they were. Dang. I thought he was like, oh no, they were just set up already. Never mind. I was imagining things.
But that is skeet shooting, though.
Yeah.
That is skeet shooting. We done told you the premise. We about to get into this movie now. So, Orlock plans on retiring, living his best life. His assistant is just like, that's cool. Like, she's fine with it. Like, she's not resistant or anything, even though she basically gonna be out of a job.
She was resistant.
Was she?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she was.
She was telling him the whole time not to do it.
My bad.
She's like, well, if you want to know, I booked your flight to go home now, and all of that. Y'all remember that? She was mad the whole movie that he was retiring.
Everybody else was mad.
He was like, you're free to live with your boyfriend now and get married. She was like, I can do that if I still work for you, blah, blah, blah. She was very upset the whole movie.
I don't recall that. Also, her and old boy barely had a relationship. Like, if they hadn't said that they were boyfriend and girlfriend, if you were just watching a movie and you missed that line, you would have never put two and two together.
Acquaintances, not even friendly acquaintances, just business acquaintances.
Right. If you missed that line, if you was late coming into the theater, because they said it like early on, you would never have guessed that they were dating. So basically, Tim O'Kelly's character just out the blue gets this urge to start killing people. So he starts off regular, like he's being weird, but he ain't killing folk yet. So he come home, and when he walks in, again, this is the 60s, So he just walks in, he pulls up to this house and just walks in the door. He don't unlock the door or nothing. But for context, people wasn't locking their doors like that.
People didn't really lock doors.
And so he's walking through the house, but he didn't come into the house and like take his shoes off, put up his jacket. He's wearing a jacket.
Say, honey, I'm home.
None of that. He just started looking around the house like he don't live there or whatever. And you can hear people in the house having a conversation, like probably they're in the kitchen. And he's just walking through there, and me and her watching, and we were like, "Is this your house?
Right? Did you break into these people's house while they're here?"
It's like, "Is this where the murdering starts? You just gonna kill them in their house?" But then he comes across a picture, and I was like, "That kind of looked like him."
Yeah.
Either that, or I'm being racist. But I think that's him.
It was weird because it really did just like kind of look like him. It didn't fully look like him in the picture.
I think it was his dad, and that's why it was like kind of look like him, but don't look like him. But finally, they were like, what the boy name is? Bobby. They were like, "Bobby, is that you?" And he was like, "Sure is, Mom." All of a sudden, he what's Beaver older brother name?
Boy. I was gonna say the boy off Andy Griffith show, but I couldn't think of his name
Opie.
Either. He Richie Cunningham.
Yeah,
let's go with that.
All of a sudden, he Richie Cunningham or whatever, and he's just like, "Dinner sure smells great, Ma." And he lives there with his wife. His dad comes in. They talking around the dinner table. You know, normal family life. And then it's time for bed or whatever. And he kind of starts to tell his wife, because his wife was like, "What's wrong?" And he was like, "I've been having urges."
He's like, "I don't feel like myself.
Yeah, I don't feel right." And she's
like,
just like,
babe.
Whatever, good night. And rolls over. So he's like,
She works a night job.
Oh yeah, she had a night job. She had to leave. So he's just like, well, now maybe that was the point of the movie where things could have went differently if she'd have just been a little bit late to work. But that wasn't the case. So the next day, it starts.
Well, ain't nobody stopped me. I guess it's a sign for me to go on with my plans.
So on the way home, he drove past this movie theater that coincidentally, Mr. Orlock was supposed to be having one of his promotional interview things there. They were going to play one of his movies, and then at the end of the movie, he was going to have like a talk or whatever interview. And the guy passes by that theater. You see it on the marquee of what's about to happen. And it also kind of lingers on these towers, like these silo towers that was kind of overlooking the theater, but you don't know what's going on. So the movie's going back and forth between the two lives of Bobby and Mr. Orlock. So Mr. Orlock is in his hotel room, talking to his assistant, talking to the writer, and Bobby is at home living his nuclear family type of life. And then it's the next day or another day, and he's writing something at the desk, and he gets his gun or whatever, and he's just sitting there, and his wife comes in to like be like, "Good morning, baby," or whatever, mind her own business, and he just pulls the pistol out on her, bow, shoots her like point blank. She's like reaching to hug him, like, "Good morning," and he just blast in the stomach. And we were like, "Oh, that's pretty graphic for 1968."
Right.
Because previously, any movie we watched that had like death or murder in it, they would cut away, like it's implied murder.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You
might see him point the gun, and then the person be like, "Oh."
Yeah.
He straight up.
Yeah. They showed the gun in stomach, fire, blood. I mean, it's black and white, so it wasn't like gory. But we was like, "Oh snap!" And she falls to the ground, and he just kind of stares at her. He in the house. His mama hear it. His mama comes in. "Baby, what happened?" Pow! Shoots his mama. She fall up against the wall, slide down the wall, blood stain down the wall. Yeah. We were like, "Doggone, you just killed your mama and your wife."
Then unfortunately, the boy was coming to deliver groceries or milk or something.
Yeah, the delivery boy came in, and he was like, "Oh, pow!" Shot him, and not nan neighbor was nosy that day.
What's going on? Nobody called 911 that we know of. That was the last you heard of that family.
No sirens. I want to say one of them, he shot them twice.
Maybe.
Like the first one didn't kill him, so he was like, "Pow, gotta shoot you again." But he had time to calmly.
Yeah, none of this was like when he was doing. He was like, boop, boop, pow.
Like super casual about it. Not like there was no build up. There was no straw that broke the camel's back. it was just like, today's the day.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to his desk, and it shows basically a suicide note.
Yeah.
And
it's basically
like,
was like, today's the day.
Today's the day. If you're reading this, my wife and my mom are dead, and I'm gonna kill some more people before y'all come and catch me. So he knew the cops was gonna be after him. He was like, it's gonna be some bodies before y'all get to me.
Suckers.
So now he drives to that silo towers that he saw overlooking the theater. And so me and her are thinking like, oh, he about to just start sniping people at the movie theater or whatever, right? And then the other guns, because again, he got like 15 guns in his trunk, and he's carrying them all like in a big, like they were all laid out on a like a bag, a foldable bag in his trunk. So when you open up the trunk, he just folds the bag up, puts it over his shoulder. It's
zipped up into a duffel bag type thing.
Yeah, and he parks in this parking lot, like this abandoned parking lot, and then he walks an untold amount of time to get to the towers. And he lays all the guns out there. And so we thinking, all right, he got the rifles for shooting people from far away. And then if the cops roll up, he got the pistols and the shotgun, shoot him point blank, and then he can get back to his business. This dude get on top of the water tower and starts shooting random people on the highway.
Driving by.
People on the highway, going about their merry way. Pow! He just firing indiscriminately. So he don't care. He just want bodies.
Yeah.
He has no MO.
Is literally, as long as he got you in his target, he shot you. So they were literally the targets.
They were just targets. So the first like 4 people he shot at, he missed. But they heard the shot, or at least it whizzed by their ear or something, and they, swerved and drove off. But the next like 3 people he shot at, definitely killed them. The last one, he shot the driver. Who am I up?
Pause.
Yeah. Oh Lord. Resume.
And then he stopped and took a lunch break in the middle of shooting people too. So he was really just up there having a casual Wednesday while killing all of these people indiscriminately.
Whole sack lunch. So the last person he killed was a passenger in a car. The car swerved, got off the road. A lady got out, went around to the passenger side, checked on him. Of course, the body fell out. She freaked out. He shoot at her, missing her. She runs away, don't get away. He shoot her in the back. She dead. Tidbit, they were guerrilla style filming this scene. And so other people on the highway were like, what's happening? Saw old girl. Like, they saw the other car swerving and stuff, didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
But then they saw old girl get out of the car and fall, and they were like, oh snap, they shooting, and called the cops. And they booked it before the cops got there. So that's
the kind of movie I'm gonna make. Not getting no permits.
But yeah, he's continuing on shooting people wherever he's at. I don't know what type of building it was. I think it said it, but I don't forget. There was a worker there, so he hears the noise. He the first person in the movie that's not heard gunshots, because again, he shot up his mama, his wife, and a delivery boy in his neighborhood. And he lived in a pretty, nuclear family type of neighborhoods, suburbs, and nobody said nothing, and even left out the front door. Just walked out the front door.
Got in the car, drove off. Nobody was outside. Nothing.
But anyway, this worker hears the sounds, and he's like, I think it's coming from up top. So he climbs up the steps. Now these are metal steps. They making noise.
Ding,
ding, ding, ding. Yeah,
all the way up.
This dude gets all the way up to the top and sees Bobby, and Bobby's like, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Looked at him in the face.
Yeah, looked at him in the face. This dude sees him up here laying down, shooting these guns. Bobby got enough time to get the shotgun. Bow, blast this dude. He falls off.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
It zooms out to show the silos, like side by side, and you see this clear as day, like a dummy.
Yeah, it was just a shadow of it.
Falling.
But it was obviously like a cotton stuffed dummy. It was like falling.
Just ragdoll falling. And I hear this. And I was like, why would you make that sound as you fall? And then it cuts to some cops coming, and I was like, oh, that was the siren.
I was wondering why he was laughing so
'Cause I
hard
was
on that part.
dying.
Because I laughed because it was a dummy falling off. But he laughed too hard for it to be a dummy. But that was when he was like, he thought that the siren was the man screaming, falling off of the silo. I was like, that would be a good reason to be laughing like this.
But it happened like as soon as he was falling. Like they cut the sound as soon as they showed him falling. I was like, that's a bold choice for his death cry. But yeah, so you think, okay, this grand shootout's about to start. You would be wrong, just like us. This man packs up the guns in the most frantic way ever. He leaves like 4 guns in the process.
He's the most gun leaving this person I ever seen in my life.
Starts booking it down the staircase of the silo, drops another gun, gets into the open field between him and the abandoned parking lot, drops another gun, gets into, he done lost like a good chunk of his
like 50% at least
of his inventory,
maybe at most,
and gets in the car. The cops see him, they chasing him. It's this not even fast car chase down the street, and he's zipping and zagging inside and outside of the traffic or whatever. He loses them by going through an intersection, and they can't follow him. He rounds the corner, and then where does he go? Back home.
Oh, I thought he went to the drive-in.
No, he went home and then did something at the house and then went to the drive-in.
Oh, I thought that was why he went in there, because he was
no, you're right. You're right. He did go into a drive-in. My bad. He did go into a drive-in. So this is the drive-in that Mr. Orlock is supposed to be at, which, by the way, by this point, he's decided, you know what? I don't want to just peter out. Like, I want to go out with a bang. So let me go do this final interview, and I'm gonna make it a grand interview. Like, I'm gonna make it memorable or whatever. And so he's supposed to be coming there soon. It's a drive-in theater, so people are already showing up. It's daytime, and you know they trying to get their best seats. Well, not seats, but you know, parking spots before the show starts. This dude finds space behind the projector screen and pokes a tiny little hole, and he sets up shop at the movie theater
for the killing spree to ensue.
So at this point, like, I think the official body count is at like 3, maybe 4. Though he's
gotta add the family in too. So it's like 7.
Okay, like 7. He shot at a lot of people on the highway, but you know, moving targets are a lot harder to hit.
And the man working.
Oh yeah, he got some bodies on him. He was doing some work.
He's a mass murderer.
So
quick tidbit: it doesn't count as being a serial killer in this kind of killing. It would be a mass murderer. Look it up. Learn the difference.
So the people show up or whatever. The movie starts, and I don't remember what part of the movie he was like, okay, now's the time, but everybody's there. But this dude, bang, shoots the first person. Now, I don't know about y'all, but if I'm at a movie theater, a drive-in, and I hear a gunshot, and it's not the type of movie to have gunshots in it.
But I think it was loud. I think they couldn't hear the gunshots, and that's why nobody was reacting. Like, the movie was loud, and the shots weren't louder
than the gunshot?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because you got the speaker right in your car.
I'm watching... They up here watching freaking The Haunting of Hill House. No gunshots is in Haunting of Hill House. And it sound like doggone John Wick is happening outside. So of course people are like, huh? The few people, but no one's panicked. They're just like, that's weird. And then they show the first like up close and personal death. Well, outside the family. I keep forgetting about the family. He did them dirty. But it's like me and her in the car watching the movie, and then pow, between the eyes.
Yeah, like they having a conversation. Done. Next thing you know, dead.
And then that person's like, what happened? And is, you know, feeling with them, pow, they did. Or whatever.
They even showed a little boy.
Yeah, they killed a little boy.
Daddy had got shot, and the boy was crying like, Dad. Pow, shot the little boy too.
No discrimination. Like, if you was in his sights, that was a wrap for you.
Right.
So a few people got down, they turned the car lights off, and was like, hey, they shooting out there. But they wasn't causing a panic. They were like, hey you. So they disturbing some kids making out, and they're like, what, man? What's your problem? He's like, they shooting. What?
They shouldn't. You're too loud. You turn your light on to hear what the man had to say. Why you turn your light on to hear what the man had to say? What they got to do with the other?
Nothing. Too many people died in that movie theater before anyone was like, let's get out of here.
Everybody leave.
And so they did finally start leaving. He's still shooting people.
And the actor, he was like, they hate this movie.
Yeah.
He hates these cans. Stay away from the cans.
Yeah, so no one's hearing the gunshots. They're just seeing the aftermath and running from the aftermath. Because there's multiple people still in there chilling, watching the movie, having a good old time. And Mr. Orlock, he's in his own little private limo. You know, he done pulled up with his assistant. And he's like, they really hate this movie, man.
It's like,
they leaving in droves. He's like, man, I should just went home. Like, why did I come here? They just gonna make fun of me.
Oh, man.
And so I guess they hear somebody talking about the shooting. So he gets out and he's like, what did you get out for? Why don't you just leave?
He said today was his day.
But you can't tell old people nothing. They like, look, I don't live my life. I don't really care.
You're making my last special appearance bad. I'm already in a bad mood. Now you fixing to experience my bad mood. That's what he said. Not for real though.
Also, this is back in the day where someone had to change the film because all the film couldn't fit on one reel. It was on two different reels, and there was like a ding that went off, and the movie operator would have to change, to the next one at a certain time. Well, he gets shot.
He was one of the first people.
Yeah, he was one of the first people to get shot. So it was time, and nothing was changing. And so the manager was like, "Hey man, go wake up Jimmy in there. Jimmy ain't changing the thing." Somebody go check on Jimmy.
Jimmy dead.
It's your only brother, Jimmy. He's dead, Dynamite.
Jimmy's dead.
Run back and tell the manager. He was like, Jimmy's been shot. He was like, what? Stop playing, boy. He was like,
and
then he was like, that makes sense because there was some people running around talking about there was
somebody
shots.
was shooting.
And he was like, man, whatever. So he go check on Jimmy, and he was just like, egad, Jimmy has indeed been shot. Looks like they were telling the truth. Get everybody out of here. Call the cops. So also there's one way in and one way out of this drive-in theater. So there's the rider was coming in, and people were trying to get out. And instead of seeing this drove of people trying to get out, and you being like, I'm gonna go ahead and back this up. Yeah. He get out his car and is like, what's going on here?
Sorry, I'm late.
And once he gets the idea of what's going on, he runs to go look for Mr. Orlock. Meanwhile, Mr. Orlock is,
going to stand on business.
Right. The cops show up and they start shooting. Like, they find out where the shots are coming from. They start shooting at him. He bounced. He also drops another gun. He bounces, gets to another location. And he's still shooting at people.
Oh, and he dropped all of his bullets too.
Oh, yeah, he dropped all of his bullets.
The whole bag.
Yeah, he went to reload and just fumbled all the bullets. So I think he just got like a pistol on him at this point. And so Mr. Orlock sees him from afar due to like some reflections or something. And he just, like she said, walk up on that dude or whatever. The guy sees him at the last minute, shoots at Mr. Orlock, misses. Mr. Orlock give him 2-piece Popeye special.
But he also shot his assistant too.
Oh, yeah, he did shoot that girl.
Mm-hmm.
He was shooting everybody. There was no like off limits.
Anybody was able to be shot in this movie.
The man, I want to know the body count now. But yeah, he punched that dude's lights out and then was like, hey, he over here. And they arrested him. They got old girl. She got shot in like the shoulder or something. Yeah. But they was able to get her to a hospital or whatever. And he was just like, well, this was a great way to go out.
As I said it would be.
Right. And then that's it. Movie ends.
All right. It just shows the people driving out of the drive-in with his car still being there.
Like, yeah, his car is like the only car still parked there. Everybody else is leaving. It's like a aerial shot.
Credits roll.
We were just like, man, that was a straight up just killing spree.
Right. This movie was straight up about murder.
Some other stuff happened in between, but that was just kind of just build up.
Almost. Getting to the next killing scene.
They did. So one of the scenes that she referenced with them skeet shooting, him and his dad. His dad was an avid gun guy, but he hunted or whatever and went to the target range. And he was very big on gun safety and all of that. And when he was resetting the targets up, he walked out down the range to reset the targets up. Bobby put his sights on him, and his dad happened to look up, and he's like, "Hey, what you doing?
Don't aim that gun at me, boy."
He was like, "Oh, I was doing what?" He's like, "No, you never point a gun with somebody downrange. I taught you better than that," or whatever. Has a whole. I thought his daddy was gonna get shot.
Right.
He never shot his dad.
His daddy was never to be seen again in this whole movie after he left to go to work. That was the last you saw his daddy.
But yeah, he even went and bought like more stuff and put it on his dad's tab. But yeah, a lot of it was just kind of seeing the two lives of the actor and the mass murderer, like going back and forth until it finally just went to him just deciding today's the day. But yeah, that was the movie, and that it was classified as a crime drama thriller, but I think back then it should have been classified as horror because like I bet you people
been horrifying at the time.
Right, yeah, people were just like, "Oh my god, like who would do such a thing?"
I don't know how big mass shootings were back then, but I feel like it wasn't often.
Yeah, it wasn't like now where it's like
occurrence.
You know, the weather kind of deal. But yeah, what did you think about Targets?
I did like Targets. I was very surprised at how graphic it was for the time and how indiscriminately he was killing people, like age-wise, sex-wise. He didn't care who you are, your creed, none of that. Right. You were getting shot if he could get you.
If he could see you, you was getting shot.
Like, that was all that mattered to him. It's like the line said, people are targets. What did it say? Be careful that
you could be the next one.
Yeah, you could be the next one. And that was 100% true. It wasn't much story to it for real. Like, basically what we were saying, the man was contemplating retiring, and it was following that a little bit. He just wanted to kill people. Like, he didn't really talk. After those first little parts of him talking to his family, he didn't talk anymore.
Yeah, he didn't have
the rest of the movie. He was just killing. And yeah, it was just straight to business. I don't know. There's not anything else in there I wanted to touch on. I don't think we talked about all the scenes that I wanted to talk about. And should I already say whether I think it should be on and all that?
Yeah.
I don't think it should be on the list of 1001 movies you should watch before you die, though it was the first I've seen around that time with these kind of killings and all of that, the type of killings
and showing them.
Yeah, like though it was the first of that, maybe I'm just like tired of that kind of stuff because I live in it now, of it happening all the time or something. But it wasn't a big deal to me for real as it should have been. Well, it was a big deal because I was like, oh my gosh, they actually showing this and having him doing this, but it wasn't big enough for me to be like, man, y'all should watch this movie. And I was entertained by it, but not enough again to be like, y'all need to watch this movie at the same time. So I don't feel like it needs to be on the list. You can watch it if you want to. And I'll give it 3 out of 5 Cowboy Ninjas. And yourself?
I concur with everything she said. Though, like, well, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything she didn't say because it's literally what she said. So yeah, I don't think it needs to be on the list. It was definitely shocking, but not like mind-blowingly shocking. Just surprising. It was like, oh, y'all actually showed the people getting killed, and kids and women were involved. And it's not like we don't see that all the time because we love horror movies.
Yeah, even in Western, even get killed.
But it's a different type of thing for a 1968 like black and white movie to just be indiscriminately. And usually it's like there's a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in the Westerns, if a kid gets killed, it's usually the bad guys. They're trying to run people out of town. So, like, they want to prove how really bad they are or whatever. Or it's a list of people that did the person wrong and they're crossing people off the list. There's some type of rhyme or reason. This dude's literally like, can I see you? You're dead. Like, that's it. Like, that's all it was to it. Milkman,
Paperboy.
Paperboy. He didn't care. But yeah, nothing happened. Like us just telling you about what happened is good enough. You don't need to see it with your own two eyes. So you don't need to watch this movie. I would give it a 3 out of 5 Cowboy Ninja. Like, it was cool. I was entertained by it. I don't regret watching it, but I was just like,
we saw it.
We saw it. It was like, whatever. Maybe it got put on the list because of how,
I feel like that's why it was on the list.
Undiscriminately, but he was killing. But
this day and age,
it's like, whatever.
Read any good news on the newspaper page.
So, that was Targets. If you like this movie, I'm sorry. I mean, not that we dislike this movie. We did
like it.
But if you thought it was more than what we're making it out to be, sorry, to each his own. Have you seen it? What are your thoughts on it? We watched it on Pluto. So, you can watch it if you want to. Let us know in the comments your feelings and whatnot. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Share the page. Subscribe. Look at some of our other stuff. As we continue on this 1001 movies you must watch before you die. I didn't say that in the beginning, but that's what we're doing. 2020 edition of 1001 movies you must watch before you die.
I got something to say to Pluto. Place the ads in more convenient places, please. Don't be cutting people off mid-sentence, putting the ads in. Tell them what happened with him.
I'll let the mid-sentence ad. What I won't let slide is at the end of the movie, the ad comes on, and then when it goes off, 2 seconds of footage is shown, and then credits roll. And I was like,
it was literally the end of the movie. It was like, wait, we got one more ad we got to squeeze in before it's all the way goes off.
It literally got done with the ad, went back to the movie at the exact same spot it was at. 2 seconds went by. I'm not exaggerating.
Might have even been one.
Credits roll. And I was like, word? Y'all made us sit through like 4 or 5 ads for 2 more seconds.
Because we weren't like looking at
we weren't looking at the little timer thing.
Or anything.
So yeah, Pluto, you gotta get your act together. Like, get your money, have your ads. Like, I understand I'm watching this for free, so I gotta use my part of the bargain.
Spread them out better.
Watching ads, but spread them out. Don't be having them literally at the end of the movie, right before the credits. Like, come on, that's just dumb. But anyway, this has been another episode of Team Tatum.